There it hangs, suspended in gloom, glowing dimly in darkness. A beacon there to inform us that there is always a way out. But don't go just yet. We have such wonderful things to show you. This is the Exit Light Podcast. Greetings, listener. Welcome once again to the Exit Light Podcast. I am your storyteller, Eli Beals. Tonight we begin the first part to my 2015 short novel, Soulbound. A story I wrote in an almost allergic reaction to having been exposed to a notorious young adult vampire story, which we need not mention here. Perhaps this is the most torturous way to deliver this story, but will do my best to not leave you hanging too badly. And if you want to cheat or skip ahead, you can acquire this story by other means. Without further delay, I am happy to present Soulbound, Part 1. Blasts of laser light strobe through the strawberry-scented vapor from the smoke machine above the dance floor. It mists about the crowd like smoke tendrils, exhaled through the nostrils of some great cataclysmic beast, obscuring and emphasizing the dark gothic theme of the nightclub known as Nosferae Nightclub. It is Thursday. The playlist of songs range from somber drones of melancholy to wistful and colorful innocence only the music of the 80s can inspire. Suspended by iron chains above are several cages containing writhing go-go dancers resplendent in neon miniskirts and huge elevator boots that look fit to crush beer kegs. They stomp, sending clouds of glitter up in shimmering gusts, showering the crowd below with their fairy dust. Like an elaborate funeral party, most are dressed in black, but occasionally the bewildered face of some frat boy or burly sports fan can be seen drifting about the vaporous room, holding a drink uncertainly, eyes wide, mouths held in curious O's. The ones on the no give them smiling glances as if to say, "Yeah, friend, you're at the wrong party." In the middle of the dance floor is a pack of aging revelers, looking to relive their past glory of the wondrous 80s. Tomorrow they'll go back to being investment bankers and dowdy housewives. For now, though, they are all gobs of black mascara, big poofy teased hair, shoulder pads, and Doc Martens. Near a towering stack of speakers is a girl, petite, short black hair tied into a feathery plume at the back. She is flanked by two others, both androgynous, and one is covered head to toe in black vinyl, wearing a gas mask. The other is vaguely feminine and wholly absorbed in their dance routine. She isn't dancing, mostly swaying in time to a different beat, an unheard rhythm by all else but her. 250 human hearts pumping hemoglobin through millions of miles of arteries, veins, and capillaries. She breathes in the strawberry steam and instead smells the salty sweat of human skin, tastes the vibrant energy like an electric shock, hears the symphony of blood thundering in her ears, feels the vibrations of the collective organism that shuffles, gyrates, and breathes in this place tonight. She doesn't see him. Rather, she senses him, feels his stare from across and through the haze, knowing the steps he will take before he takes them. She sees without seeing his shoulders tick-tocking as he wends his way through the tight pack of bodies. He is chewing viciously on spearmint gum. His jaw ripples as his teeth come together, mashing the lime-green blob behind his eager grin. A lingering odor of whiskey and caramel sweetness, Jack and Coke, and a hint of cheap tobacco smoke from perhaps an hour ago precedes him. She knows all of this before he's even within shouting distance, which is about 3 inches away from her ear canal. "Hey, little kitty, here all alone?" His fashionable 10 o'clock shadow scrapes her cheek. She opens her eyes, and for an instant his heart stutters, knowing for that split second what it has encountered. But the rest of this man is completely unaware, and he just gapes. "Yeah," she shouts up at him, smiling, exposing perfect white teeth. Curiously long canines glint in the lurid disco light for a brief moment, then vanish behind a slight upward curve of her full lips. "A vampire? Yeah, that's hot." She just keeps her eyes locked to his, smiling. "What's your name?" "I'm Link." He bows dramatically, doffing his black fedora. Probably wears it at his job. A box within a box, within a bigger box, in a boxy town where people drive silent boxes and never ever wonder what else there is besides these wonderful boxes. He thinks he's being different with this hat, but behind him there are thousands of others being different under their neat little hats. She knows his name is not Link, and he is from out of town. She knows he has just had a breakup with a girl back in some sea-smelling place other than here. She decides Seattle without really thinking about it. She comes to all of these determinations before she mouths the word Olivia silently in rose-red lips, and closes her eyes again, swaying to the sound waves crashing around them. They dance for a few songs before she grabs his hand and pulls him towards the exit. He allows himself to be drawn by this tiny and very strong vampire chick. He's gloating at the bartender as they pass. The man doesn't even seem to notice as he strains out some bright green-colored cocktail into a martini glass. San Francisco looms around them as they leave the pulsing, lurid darkness of the Nosferatu nightclub. Its towers and damp, chill air, spiced with a hint of yeastiness, like sourdough bread and street-side food vendors. She leads him to the edge of a dark alleyway and leans up against a signpost, digging through her purse. A pack of Lucky Strikes emerge, and she teases one out and lights it. She takes a drag and hands it over. She notices the faint tan line of a wedding band before he takes it and smokes, tasting her lipstick with relish and hope. She lights another and waits patiently for the small talk that takes all but a few pulls and plumes of harsh smoke to wisp away by the slight breeze to begin. "I'm from Seattle. First time here. On business." "Oh yeah? Yeah, I like it here. Maybe I'll move down. Plenty of tech companies. You know how it is." "Not really." "Come here often?" He points a thumb back at the club. "Every Thursday. I love the music they play." She shifts her weight, swaying slightly to the beat of the relentless thumpings of the music now muffled by concrete and wood. Flicking ash onto the sidewalk, then drawing another puff, the end of the cigarette is reflected in 2 orange-red points upon her irises. "So, what do you do?" he asks, uncomfortable in those dark headlights. "I'm a dental assistant," she says in bored tones. "Want to make out?" His cigarette is forgotten and burns closer to the filter. "God, yes," he manages to stammer. "Come on, then." Her tongue slips out from between her incisors, and she extinguishes her cigarette on the tip, emitting a faint hiss as it goes out. She doesn't even flinch, just keeps those liquid black eyes locked on his, and his vascular system diverts blood flow to other parts of his body, almost forgotten until now. She lets the butt drop to the sidewalk and crushes it with the heel of her shoe for good measure. In the darkness of the alleyway, he finds her mouth with his and they kiss. He tastes ash and resin and wax and something else before she is pulling his collar down and her breath is whispering against his throat. "Best night of my life," he whispers before his larynx is ripped out in a gurgling, streaming gout of blood. She tastes his life draining away, and he just stares in dead rapture, idiot grin dribbling rivulets of blood as he crumples like a punctured life raft. She is staring hard now at his face in hopeless expectation. The light in his pale blue eyes is fading, contracting, showing nothing. She sighs, frustrated by a sudden wave of disappointment, though not sure why. She ends his life then. She closes her eyes as she lets his husk drop to the asphalt, savoring Link's last moments, though not without a slight twinge of pity. Someone back in Seattle might miss him, or even love him still, but the world will keep spinning after all. They will forget, and as if giving permission, she glances at the pile of the once so-called Link. It begins to wither and dissipate, like smoke exhaled from their lungs only moments ago, leaving an empty pile of clothing. She almost feels bad about taking his wallet packed with 20s, but she has rent to pay soon, and the last few guys were not so burdened with cash. She looks to her right. A human shape stirs in fitful vodka-soaked sleep under a gray mass of bedding. Misery is not a palatable second course, she decides, and walks off into the night. Everett S. Maudit sits alone in his studio apartment. His face is illuminated by his computer monitor. He's scrolling through a long and inexhaustive list of smiling faces, some with curly hair, some with glasses, others taken with other people. These photos annoy him, since he can never tell which one of the smiling, shining faces belongs to the one who posted the pic. At least blur the other ones out. Jeez. Yes, he is on a dating site. In this day and age, it is perfectly normal. He isn't ugly or desperate. In fact, it's a lot of work. Lots of profile views. He's had a few dates, but nothing that really made any lasting impressions. None of that head-over-heels, wham-pow-biff, love-struck-me-dumb business. And there is the primary problem. It feels like business, a job interview at a company he's not sure about, for a position he doesn't really want, but continues to search anyway. Also, he kind of enjoys it. He clicks on a profile, and a short story appears on screen about the face he so rudely prodded with his cursor. She likes to have fun, and is laid back, likes to go hiking, blah blah blah. He breathes a bit heavier through his nose in derision, clicking back to the list of faces he can't seem to put personalities to. Oh, here's one. Let's see. Whoa. The profile reads, Group Therapy 189, female, 31, San Francisco. Her profile pic is a top-down shot. She is looking up at the camera, eyes wide. Her hair is mermaid blue, growing long about her shoulders from a 1/4 inch of light brown roots. Her breasts are bulging over the straining brim of a red halter top, studded with metal spikes. Hi, I'm Tara, happily married to the man of my dreams. We are looking for another girly girl or lucky guy that is open to new things. My husband prefers a girl, but he can't have his way all the time. Lols. Jesus. Back. Cuttlebug 55, female, 37, San Bruno. Her profile pic looks like it belongs in a home and garden magazine. Dark brown hair backlit by sunlight, like a halo. She's sitting, knees together primly on a park bench in a business skirt and gray blouse buttoned to the throat. I'm a single mother of 2, recently divorced. Back. Needs new shoes, 43, female, 27, San Francisco. Bathroom shot. Very high angle to emphasize a hot pink bra strap against a golden bronzed shoulder and her sapphire eyes. I'm so sick of you horn dogs sending me pics of your junk. I know what they look like, and they're all pretty much the same. If you want to impress me, show me your huge bank statement. Back. Veronica, 1653, female, 24, Berkeley. Worn out jeans, flannel, nose piercing. Photo quality looks like it came from 1972. Hi, I'm Veronica. I love animals. The shameful way in which we treat animals has got to stop. That is why I... Back. Some more scrolling through the endless stream of profile pics. Click. Well-traveled 14, female, 31, San Francisco. Close-up shot. Huge, toothy smile. Eyes squinting against the sunlight. Wavy brown hair flying in the breeze. Boat sails partially block the view of an open ocean. Hi there, I'm new to the area. Looking to meet a nice guy in the SF area willing to show me around and possibly more. She seems nice. Everett then writes Well-Traveled 14 a salutation and hovers his cursor over the send icon. He goes back to her profile pics, all with various backdrops of exotic locales. There's Well-Traveled 14 posing with a baby elephant in India. Oh, and there she is on top of some very high mountain range. The distance stretches into blue horizon. Ruins dapple the spine of the mountain range. Peru, last year, he reads the caption aloud. She's there smiling in front of the pyramids at Giza, holding up the leaning tower of Pisa, along with about 70 other people posing for pictures from various separate vantage points. They all look to be in different yet similar yoga poses. Back. The date would be like this. So, Well-Traveled 14, where haven't you been? She would of course reply, the fucking moon of course, but I'm doing that in September, so yeah. And the conversation would be on all of that stuff. She will tire of him quickly, as he hadn't been off the continent ever. And as long as he's lived in the city, he still eats at chain restaurants. Bent Spoon, female, 30, San Francisco. She's posing against a stone wall, a mosaic of small, multicolored rocks. Her hair is black and long. She's looking down at her feet, smiling as if the photographer had just embarrassed her in some way. I'm looking to meet someone decent, a gentleman, who will hold the door open for me and take my coat, someone who appreciates a classy gal like me. My name's Charlotte. Yes, a gentleman I am. Everett pretty much types the same thing to Bent Spoon that he did to Well-Traveled 14, and hits send without hesitation. Feeling accomplished, he stands and surveys his kitchen. He opens the refrigerator and reaches into a box tinkling with bottles, extracts one and pries the cap off a beer with the handle of the ancient Frigidaire with the luscious pop. The cap lands face down. He bends to pick it up to read the fortune printed underneath. Not gonna happen, mate, it reads. We'll see, I guess. And he takes a swallow of beer. It's okay. Marketed as British, but bottled in St. Louis. He would buy better stuff next paycheck. A chime tinkles in his living room, announcing a message received from the dating site. He all but runs to his screen. Message inbox. Click. New message from Bent Spoon. Hi, Everett Lost. Read that as Everest. Ever want to climb it? You know, the mountain? Anyway, I'm random like that. You free this Thursday? Let's get dinner. He hammers out a reply saying something to the effect of, Okay, yes, I will go to that place with you at 7 and eat food with you. He doesn't say what he was thinking, which was how the hell did you read that as Everest, and why would any sane person want to climb it? Her response takes 10 minutes. He's drinking another beer. She says yes, 7 or 8. She may have to work a bit late, but will let him know. He celebrates with another beer and goes to bed without brushing his teeth. He wakes without any trouble due to an urgency of no comparison to urinate. He learned in pre-med that this is the most effective manner of waking up. Any diuretic will do. Coffee wakes us up because it makes us have to pee. Amidst the deluge, he recalls a brief spark of excitement. Something on Thursday. Oh yeah, a date with Charlotte, aka Bent Spoon. Thursday is now almost 3 whole days away, which makes today Tuesday, and he is going to be late for work at the bookshop if he doesn't leave, right this second. One of 2 jobs he currently holds down. The other is mostly night shifts at the morgue, as a junior assistant to the medical examiner 3 days a week. Junior assistant, due to his as-yet finished bachelor's degree in biological science. Books in the day, corpses at night. Dead bodies don't rattle him usually, but sometimes they do. Children, they rattle him. The pay allows for his luxurious studio apartment with a view of some very nice Victorian houses, marching down a hill in a relatively litter-free alleyway. His upstairs neighbors are probably dinosaurs. However nice the view, and he is never sure if another earthquake is rocking the city, or if that Stegosaurus Greg and Diplodocus Dolly are doing calisthenics upstairs, or whatever dinosaurs do at 3 a.m. Casting his toothbrush a longing glance, he buckles his pants. He sprints out into the overcast morning to sell used books, with verve and fervor, to the hungry minds of San Francisco. Right on time. The door is unlocked, but the shop doesn't officially open for another 5 minutes. Glennis looks up from the ledger she is poring over to affirm that it is him, and not some eager beaver she is all too willing to banish for the next 5 minutes. "Morning, Glennis," Everett says while sidestepping a large parcel of books needing to be added to the inventory. "Morning, Ev. Got some more inventory. Some good ones in there." Everett suspects that cover to cover is a direct result of Glennis's obsession with hoarding books, and that her home has become so inundated with them that she was forced to open a shop. He wondered where this new crop of tomes would fit within the already expansive population. He loves books, especially hardcovers. There is something very tactile and visceral about reading a real book. Turning pages, feeling its weight, the paper smell. On top is a reprint hardcover of Bram Stoker's Dracula. Originally published in 1897, the flyleaf reveals this copy was printed in 1990. Old, but well treated. Underneath is an assortment of contemporary teen fiction, cookbooks and bodice rippers. Most will just sit on the shelf, a term used for a book or many books that never move, ever. He takes Dracula and wags it at Glennis. "How much?" "I'll take it. Already have several on the shelf." "Thanks, Glennis." He walks to the storeroom to put it somewhere where it won't get lost in the ever-churning tide of used books coming and going. He plans to start reading it tonight amidst the silent company of the post-living, in between scrubbing floors and sanitizing the operating equipment. The morning just drags on by, and Everett spends most of his time organizing. Nothing quite as efficient or ambitious as a public library, but keeps things as close to alphabetical order by author and genre as possible. He jams the new editions into the already full shelves, sometimes reading the back covers. A love of books does not always extend to the love of reading them. In Everett S. Maudit's case, it's almost true. Occasionally a customer will enter, Sometimes it's a browser, or as Glennis likes to say, a looky-loo. Other times it's someone with inane questions about who wrote such and such story. You know, that movie, is there a book version? Or someone trying to sell. Glennis used to buy from walk-ins, but now she finds it more economical to trade or give store credit. The door opens and a man enters. He walks around for a while, picking a book out from its slot, maybe flipping through it a bit before sliding it back exactly where it was before. Everett appreciates this immensely. Looking for something in particular? No, just looking, thanks. He's tall, well-groomed, and dressed in a sharp suit, no tie. Obviously wealthy, or trying very hard to exude that aura. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Sure, thanks. Everett busies himself by dusting off the cash register, or rather, decrumbing the register. Glennis likes to eat breakfast while hovering over the keyboard, browsing book values on various sites, probably hoping to find that proverbial diamond in the pile of coal. He notices the last book she looked up was Bram Stoker's Dracula. This particular copy worth about $1. An early autographed copy of this book runs about $10,000 minimum. He hears Glennis shuffling around the storeroom, keys jingling, heavy leather purse scraping against the desk. Sometimes she leaves early for the day, usually weekdays when it is slow like this, probably heading off to find more books at a Salvation Army or Goodwill. Okay, F, I'm leaving for the day. You can change the music now. She says this while smiling. Their mutual hatred for each other's music is like a private joke shared between them. He waves as she leaves. Before he can reach for the CD player, I have a question. Everett forgot about the considerate browser and turns, smiling, to answer whatever quandary that he may have. He's holding a couple of trade paperbacks in an armpit. The look in the man's eyes betrays that the nature of this question is more pressing than a matter of literature, and he then leans over the counter a bit. You work night shifts at the morgue, right? How do you know that? Came in yesterday. A big girl with pink hair told me. This is not exactly breaking news to him, but the idea of Cheryl gabbing about his other job puts him on the defensive. And? Well, I was wondering if you ever let people in to view the bodies. His tone is casual, feigned reserve, underlined by force. This is a man that is accustomed to getting what he wants. Sorry, no unauthorized persons beyond the river Styx. The man laughs at the reference, but insists by leaning even closer. You see, I have a predisposition for bodies, and... Okay, you can stop there, dude. It's not gonna happen. I will get fired. He thinks of his beer cap just now, and its uncanny sense of foresight. The risk is minimal to you. I've done it before. I can pay you a lot. A tinge of impatience now. Look, I said no. Ask someone else that isn't me, okay? You gonna buy those? What? Oh, nope. He tosses them onto the counter and takes a step back to turn, then pauses. You know, of all people, you should understand. How's that? Everett is getting a little pissed off now. You surround yourself with the dead. This place is a mausoleum. The books here are all just dead bodies, used up, prepped for an incinerator, and yet there is still a use for them, isn't there? Everett never thought of it that way. Was the strange and obvious necrophiliac right about that? He looks around, seeing the stacks and rows of used, previously owned, previously devoured stories as once living things now dog-eared and musty. Discarded, relinquished and interred into the musty company of many, many others. They're just books. Please leave. No problem. Good day, then. He watches as the man crosses the street, throws open a door of a shiny black sedan. Only when the car has been gone for 2 long minutes does he glance down at the books the man had tucked under his arm. One is titled Stiff, The Curious Life of Cadavers. The other is the Kama Sutra. He feels like laughing in terror. His shift is nearly over, and Cheryl, the pink-haired gabber with a crush on him, wades in through the doors. She always appears to be walking through waist-high water due to her massive thighs in constant contact with each other. The friction is audible as she passes. She waves one of those short-burst greetings like a bee has just assailed her. "Hey, Everett," she chirps. "Hey, Cheryl." He doesn't wait for her to occupy the front post. He just leaves with his troubled thoughts on what the weirdo asshole decided to drop on him like a cartoon rain cloud. He remembers to brush his teeth when he gets home. His copy of Dracula is forgotten, interred, dead, and buried in the storeroom of cover to cover. He calls in sick at the morgue, claiming a particularly violent bit of food poisoning. The receptionist promises to relay the message to Dr. Sterling. He receives a text message several hours later. It's Dr. Sterling. "Doc. Everett, hope you feel better. Only had one come in so far. Should be fine tonight without you." Everett. "Sorry, Dr. Sterling. I'm actually feeling a lot better. Just would like to rest for a bit. If you absolutely need me, I can come in." 5 seconds later. Doc. No, get some rest. See you Saturday." Everett. "Thanks, Doc." He hates himself a little for lying about being sick. Everett was not being dishonest about his desire for rest, however. He falls asleep before the sun dips behind the Victorian houses across the street. Correspondence to one Mr. Richard Von Francis. Dear Mr. Von Francis, thank you for contacting the Archdiocese of San Francisco. We appreciate your concerns regarding your neighbor. We urge you to contact the mental health authorities on her behalf, as the Catholic Church does not take it upon itself to investigate matters of possession or currently employ, as you described, exorcists. The enclosed is a complimentary rosary to help you in this difficult time. You are, as always, welcome in God's house, my son. With our Lord's love, sincerely, Father William Sorensen. Journal entry. Date, February 3rd, 2015, Tuesday. The church is laughing at me. They will see soon enough when I expose Satan's plans to the world. The demon next door is just the beginning. I can see hell in her eyes when we pass in the corridor. We'll capture her destruction on video. She can be photographed, as I have seen several shots of her doing her business on the streets, spreading her evil one John at a time. I will drive the cross into her chest to free whatever soul she still has left. I may have to move after this. Nothing new to me. All I need is my Bible and holy armaments bestowed upon me by my partner, who is unjustly languishing in prison. Homicide, they call it. Holy vengeance is more appropriate. They do not know the truth, and so they fear what they do not understand. We are doing God's work, Reginald. I carry the burning font for both of us, my brother. As for this rosary, it will be the device to finally silence her banshee wails. Thank you for listening. The next part continues next week. Until then, good night.